Today's guest might not be well known by the broader AFL public, but Harvey Langford has the potential to become a household name within a number of years. Langford was drafted with pick number 6 in the national draft by the Melbourne Demons, 190cm contested inside mid. Langford has the ability to be a difference off the bat for the Melbourne Demons. Langford was very giving with his time, and today he will join us on the podcast to talk about his career and how it might unfold.
Clearance shifter, out wide. Lucas Campriali, high kick up toward half forward. Langford sliding in. He's
out here, here's Zoe again. You got it. It's all
Thump this one long and deep inside 50. Hines is at the back on the side. An incredible fly from Langford.
the conditions are pretty ordinary in the middle.
1 point the margin.
So hello everyone, as mentioned in the intro, we are joined by our third guest so far. We've had Luke Nolan, who just quietly, Luke is currently out injured from the saddle. He's been injured for probably 3 or 4 months now. Hopefully he's back riding soon. I think he's been spending a bit of time with the wife and his 2 kids on his time off. But big shout out to Luke, he was our last guest. Before that we had Ethan Mills, a fellow race caller, but now we're stepping back into the footy world, which is a bit of a flashback to the past for myself. I've had Caden McDonald on and Twisty3, who are 2 massive YouTubers who do AFL content. But now I've got an AFL player himself. Pick number 6 in the national draft to the Demons, Harvey Langford, good friend of mine. It's great to have you on, Harv.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate the time.
Anyway, so we've got you on. Is there anything that Demons fans should know about you that they maybe don't know? You haven't done a lot of media outside of the draft stuff. Is there anything that they should know? If you could tell them something about yourself?
No, I think it's pretty well shared that just that competitive side of me is sort of that one thing that they should all know. I think coming into the club, the first thing, sort of the main drive from Goody has been that competitive thing, and the fans are clearly looking for that. That's what club that you can go to, but I think, Melbourne, that's that main thing, just how competitive I am, and I think the fans love that heaps.
See, all of us in the friend group know you as Langers. Has the club given you a nickname yet? Is there something they've latched onto? Is it Langers? Is it Lang? Or is it just Harvey?
Ed Langdon, they call him Lingers or Langers, so it's a bit difficult to call me Langers at the same time. But I have got a nickname which I'm not going to share the info behind that, but Froggy they call me, which is a bit weird, and the story is a bit strange, but Froggy or Langers.
So for all these fans out there, this is Froggy, Harvey Langford. You've definitely seen his face by now. Top selection in the draft this year. You were coming into your top year. You stepped into the captaincy role with Danny Nong, and you were, I want to say, projected in the 30s before the start of that Coates Talent League year. You skyrocketed through. You had some incredible performances. You had some 20 disposal games, multiple goals, and you played the lights out. Joint Lark medalist in the Aussie Champs as well. So, what was that season like for you? You came from I would say a bit of a bolter. I think out of all the sort of draft picks, you were the one that rose the most, and then being thrown up for the number 1 pick in the later rounds of the Coates League. How was that all to take in? Did you expect that from yourself coming into your top year, or was it a bit of a shock to even you?
Yeah, no, definitely not. Coming into my top age year, we'll start off with bottom age year. I had some solid performances, but coming into the top age year, I definitely didn't think I was able to sort of get up to that top 10. And as you said, chances of number 1 throughout the year or later in the year. But I think coming into my top age year, the Stingers, I think it was just playing consistent football was the important part, I think, and just sort of showing my strengths to the recruiters that were watching me. I think the first game against South Australia, I think for Vic Country, was sort of that moment where I sort of switched a little bit. Sort of took my game to another level, and I think the recruiters definitely saw that, and just how I'm able to sort of go down forward as a midfielder was something that sort of set me apart from the rest of the midfielders in the under-18s comp across the country. So I think, since that under-18s champ, I just, took it to another level, and all that seriousness and professionalism rose up. And I think since then I sort of realised, I was up in that top 10, top 15, top 20 range. But I guess there's a lot more talk about it as well, and sort of took the pressure under my wing and sort of didn't worry about what else was said in the media and stuff. But no, I enjoyed the year very much so.
You stepped through you played your juniors with Mount Martha. Are you sort of coming through? At what stage in your juniors did you think AFL's a viable career for you? I think every kid growing up wants to be a footballer. Some are they're talented, maybe they lack the work ethic, the size, all those sorts of things. At what stage, maybe, under 15s or 16s, you thought, yeah, Stingrays have reached out, I could really make something of this?
Yeah, obviously it's every kid's dream to make it to the top level, and that's something that I've always wanted to do. From I don't know what age I was kicking the footy, just wanted to, be like those greats in the game at the time. And yeah, it's a good question. I think around 15, 16, reaching that Stingrays program. I got noticed by a few of the coaches there, and they saw some real potential in me. Coming through the under 16s program, had a few trials for Vic Country. Which I did miss out on, which was a bit disappointing at the time. But I think, from then, I sort of, I think that made me work a lot harder and, flicked the switch in me where I was like, oh, well, I can do this as well. And I know that I'm good enough to do it. So I think, yes, that 15, 16 years old was the time where I realised that it's a possibility.
It took a while for you to win a flag with the Mounties. The sort of 2021 year were you 13-0 or something like that before COVID hit? I'm pretty sure you guys were smashing down the door. And then COVID hit you guys. I heard a few of the boys who play for Mount Martha. They sort of said you guys were, robbed by COVID a bit. And then the next year, 2022, you came back and actually won the flag. Recollections of that? I think you beat South in the granny by memory. Good team you guys had.
We did. We did get robbed in that COVID year. That was probably our strongest team. But coming back in the under 16s, we did beat South in the granny by 30 odd points, I think.
Yeah, Jake would have a fair bit to say about that as well. He'll claim wasn't fully fit with the leg, should have been out there, would have made a difference.
He says that every year, I tell you. But that was probably my favourite junior footy memory, that grand final. Even though I did get concussed in the game, but I was able to play it out. So
yeah, well, nowadays you'd be off for 2 weeks and probably wouldn't be heard from, and they'd keep you under protocols. You've risen up through the draft process. You went pick 6. Coming into the draft, did you have any idea of who you go for? Obviously you went to Melbourne. Did you think you were any possibility of going pick 1 to the Tigers? I know you grew up a Tigers man, or did you feel like you were that maybe pick 3 to maybe pick 8 range, anywhere in between?
Yeah, look, obviously growing up as a Tigers fan, it was always, a dream to go to them. It was a slight opportunity to pick 1, but I probably didn't think it was going to happen. But I'm happy that it's so hot in here. Anyway, what's it called? Yeah, I think from that 3 to 8 range was probably where I was going to sit, and very happy I ended up at pick 6 for the D's, and loved it heaps so far. So.
You were thrown obviously straight into the AFL system. Straight after draft night, they're throwing cameras in front of your face, interviews. Hey, I'm Harvey Langford, Dandenong Stingrays, all that sort of stuff. What was the biggest culture shock thing you maybe experienced from even playing at Dandenong and then also with Vic Country? You do a little bit of media there, sort of a bit of stuff for the socials, but then you step into the AFL and it's this whole different cauldron. What was the biggest thing for you to adjust to?
Yeah, I think, I got used to it a little bit. I did a few interviews with Channel 7 and stuff and some other little things along the way. But I think as soon as I got picked, I got ripped into media straight away. I think I didn't see my family for about an hour or a little bit over that. So I just did heaps of, videos and over the microphone to a few radio stations and stuff like that. So I think that was a bit of I wouldn't say a shock, but it sort of took me away from sort of sinking in the moment, I would say. So I think that's sort of the main thing. And just, since then, obviously, I actually haven't done too much sort of media stuff at all, really. I did a little bit today and last couple of weeks, but it's all been pretty chill. I think they're just trying to look after us at the moment. So
yeah, I just want to say, just quietly, Harvey said his room is really hot, and I can visibly see the sweat dripping down your face.
I'm upstairs at the moment, and it is not comfortable, and I'm in a jumper as well. So
the jumper after the shower, that's shocking from you.
Yeah,
I'm judging from the jumper being on. There's nothing on underneath the jumper.
No, there isn't.
Okay.
I would take it.
Yeah, well, mate, depending on the type of audience I've got, wouldn't be the worst idea, but wouldn't be the best.
Yeah. I might have a top I might need to change into, but
Oh, that's all right. Don't stress. You can do that. Obviously,
I don't. It's all good.
it's throwing me for a second. Obviously, footy's a very tough career. I think we were talking about this a couple of days ago with obviously everything that came out with it. There are a few deaths and sort of, I think it's well documented through my social media and all those sort of things with how I'm very open about talking about mental health and it being promoted about something. Obviously, there being a few mental health related passings within the AFL. And something that we actually had to talk about was plans for footy players post-career and things like that with mental health. And I've seen the AFL's copped a little bit on social media with that. But you were very supportive of how well the clubs do with you players and looking after you guys. Is that something you can speak further on? I think what sort of plans are in place from a club point of view to help you battle the stresses of the job? Because although a lot of people see AFL as being an elite sport and a dream career, it's a tough gig. Like, what sort of plans do they have in place to help you with that sort of stuff?
Yeah, there's definitely heaps of sort of sources to go to, but the main thing is I would say is it's your choice, I guess, of what you reach out to. I think there's definitely some options at the club. I assume every club will have the same thing where you have a psych and a few people that can help you out if you reach out. I think it's the important bit, and I think that obviously can become noticed by sort of your teammates and your staff around you, coaches that you might be struggling as well or something. And yeah, as you said, post career. There's this thing called the AFLPA where they give you opportunity to sort of seek that help if need be after a career. So I actually did an introduction on it the other day where they sort of broke down a few websites or numbers to contact if you are struggling during your career about anything mental health or financial things, and that's obviously really important after your career. Because when you retire, players may feel a little bit lost, I guess, and they might not know how to sort of work out their next step in their life. So there's definitely heaps of sort of resources that are given and provided to you on ways to seek help, I guess.
You step into your first sort of actual AFL action with the practice matches coming up in a couple of weeks. What sort of expectations do you have on yourself for this year? Obviously, it's your first year. You're a top draft pick. Is it one of those sort of things where you're really eager to sort of get on the park as soon as possible, or is it something where you're comfortable playing VFL level for a bit and sort of finding the ropes, or is the expectation round one, I rock up against GWS and I'm in the best 23?
Yeah, I think that's the goal, to play round one or to play as early as I can. I think that's every person's, every young player's goal to do as soon as you get into the club. And I think, for me, it could happen. I think I'm, feeling pretty comfortable amongst the boys in the midfield and spending a little bit of time forward, learning new structures and things like that, and feeling more comfortable with all those roles. But yeah, I think just for me, coming up to these practice matches is just taking every opportunity as well as I can, especially because we've got a practice match against North on the 22nd.
Another fellow top recruit as well, Finn O'Sullivan, in that game.
Do
you reckon you'll match up on Finn?
I might. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
A couple of good friends that you've made as well throughout your time playing in the champs. Obviously, you play with Vic Country. You play with a few of the top draft picks as well, and there's a few on the other side of the caper as well. If you just speak on maybe your other, I would say your friends, but also some of them now your opposition, who do you think is going to make a good impact in year one?
Yeah, if you look at that top end sort of draft, Sam Layla or Lawler, Finn O'Sullivan, I think he'll do pretty well. I think, Josh Smiley will probably get into Richmond's team probably round one or as early as he could, and make an impact with his size, especially as a midfielder.
Yeah, I was going to say, mate, we've got no midfield. Dusty's just left. Our midfield's not bad, but every AFL midfield seems to be elite at the moment. But I'd say Josh Smiley in round 1, Sam Lather if he's in round 1. Like
Yeah.
our team's going to be completely new. Like it's amazing the amount of change at Richmond over the last 5 years. You're a Tigers fan as well. You can comment on this as well. But geez, the whole
I used to
team
be. I used to be.
used to
Tigers
be. It's
fan.
okay. You've heard it here first. He's a D's man through and through. Is it hard to make that transition? Like you go from supporting a club growing up as a kid, and then you step into the AFL system. Is it hard to go from I'm not meant to like this team anymore? They're my opponents.
I didn't really think about it too much, to be honest. Yeah, I just made the switch pretty quick. Like, I think it was always going to happen. Wherever I'm playing for, like, I've got to go for that team. Like Richmond are now, a team that I'll come up against. So, there's just no chance that, I could be going for them one little bit. But I'm a Melbourne through and through now, and support the D's, mate.
Well, Jack Ginnivan was still a Hawthorn man deep in his heart somewhere, and now he's at the Hawks. So maybe for Tigers fans, I'm I'm praying here. Anyway, we'll move on. He's a D's man through and through. He loves the club. I hear about how good the club is every day. One thing that has come up at the club, and this is something that you brought forward to the group chat for people who don't know. Harvey and I have a group chat with all the boys, fair few of the boys who spent draft day with him as well, like Ollie and TJ, and there's a few other boys that didn't make it to draft night. But we have a group chat called WAFL, and you've said in WAFL that with how much the group chat goes off, that it's made a couple of appearances at the club. I know that the backmen have back chat. Is there any chance WAFL can go global?
I think it could, mate. I think there's I think it could. There's a bit of talent throughout WAFL, so
Yeah, well,
I think they can make it anywhere.
We've
Like
got-
especially on like you're great at this, mate. You're a great horse commentator. We've got a few of the other boys that are a bit smart. We've got a few that might not know what they're doing, but that's all right.
we got Benny Schmidt, who was the Ducks of his high school. We got Young AFL player. We got Coxty, the greenskeeper. We've got TJ, the up and coming rapper. We've got everything in WAFL. We've got OJ, the rugby player. It's a group chat with plenty of promise.
Yeah, I think so. I think time will tell, and we'll see what happens with the boys.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll touch back on this in about 6 months' time. Harvey Langford post game interview, and WAFL might get a mention. Who knows? So we've talked about your footy. Obviously, I think you walk straight into the D, stacked midfield, stacked team. You're thinking pushing for a flag straight away. That's the go.
I think so. I think every team wants that, and for a young player like me to come in and to hear the positivity with the older boys, thinking they can go as far as a premiership, brings positivity to me. I think, and for all the younger boys that are coming through the system, I think it's a possibility. And every club comes in every year to win a premiership, but for some, obviously, I mean, for 17 teams, it doesn't happen. For one, it does. So, I guess that's definitely our goal.
Who are sort of the people you've gravitated to at the club? Maybe a couple of people that are taking you under your wing. I know Trent Rivers has been become a pretty good friend of yours at the club, and obviously you come through with Xavier Lindsay as well. Who are sort of those players that you've gravitated to, maybe built some close bonds with? I'm assuming most of the midfield group. Who are those sort of players?
Yeah, obviously I've got very close to Xavier Lindsay, especially getting drafted with him and West Benefit Country together. But yeah, obviously I was in with Trent Rivers at his house for a few weeks. So I think the banter between me and him is good to have, especially when he's in the midfield and we're playing on each other, pretty competitive with it all. I think I've got Track and Viney have taken me under their wing. So I think that's good to have. And yeah, I think the main thing about building relationships is just the banter that we have between each other. I think it's pretty important. So those older boys looked after me heaps and shown me a few different things that I need to keep working on, and little learning points that have taken my game to another level as quick as I can. So yeah.
Obviously, you're still very raw. You've only been in an AFL system for probably 4 or 5 months now. what are sort of the things that you feel internally that you can improve on that could take your game to the next level?
I'm just touch on sort of the midfield stuff, just that stoppage craft and those running patterns are really important. Like we've got different roles at Melbourne. Just keep working on those, I think, and just sort of obviously AFL the speed's a lot different to under 18s footy, so just keeping up with that speed and adjusting to it, I think will sort of help me click and be ready for, hopefully as long as career as I possibly can do. But I think keep working on that midfield craft and spend more time forward, which I think if I get an opportunity early, I'll probably play majority forward. So just keep working that forward craft and trying to impact the scoreboard and help the teammates around me.
Just quietly on Harvey's friendship with Christian Petrarca, he has made an appearance in WAFL track. He's been cited on a couple of occasions. I'm still waiting to know what his next TikTok recipe is going to be. So, Harvey, if you can ever get back to me with that, I just want to know. I just want to put it in my cookbook. I think that's one going forward. So, Harvey Langford, the footy player, that's one side to you. But then there's your personal side, and that's obviously something that probably isn't out there as much on social media, or something that as an AFL player, you sort of there's your career and your personal life that are very different. Couple of your enjoyments. I've played around a golf with you, and I'm hearing from you that you're going to play around with some of the D's boys tomorrow. Take us through your golfing career, because I genuinely think the PGA Tour is calling you if AFL doesn't work out, mate.
Yeah, it's a good comment from you, mate. I'm a bit disappointed that you brought it up. I knew you were going to bring it up, but anyway, it's going well, to be honest. I played a good round the other day. In the Dunes. I played about a couple of weeks ago, scored about 70 off 9 holes. So it was pretty good. Good round of golf. No, I'm terrible. I'm actually shocking. Yeah, the whole team's playing tomorrow, so that should be good fun, and hopefully I don't come last. But
is there a penalty? Is there a penalty for who comes last? Like, got to shout a whole meal for the team or something? Or
yeah, well, I'm gonna have to load up my bank account because it's probably going to be me. To be honest,
who's most likely to win it at the club? Who's the most handy with a golf club?
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to answer that. Actually, I'll let you know tomorrow. But I don't know who. I haven't played with any of the boys yet, and I haven't sort of heard too much about golf. I don't know if we're the biggest golfing team, but I'm just probably me, to be honest. But we'll see what happens.
I was going to say you might be the biggest basketball team. I saw one of these ones on social media during the week. One of these ones from you, just the old.
Close it up, right?
You were looking. It's honest. Mate. It was cold shot. I'll give you that. But yeah, golf a bit of a love. I know you're big in the gym. Obviously, as a football player, you spend a lot of time there. You love hanging out with mates and things like that. Honest question: if footy didn't work out for you, what do you think you'd be doing?
Yeah, it's a tough question. It's a question. An answer that I haven't been able to sort of give to anyone. I've still got no idea what else I want to do. I think I might just wait a couple of years and sort of maybe opportunity at uni to do something. But I was always interested in sort of PT and stuff, still on that sort of sport line. But yeah, if footy wasn't to work out, probably would have struggled a little bit with what I wanted to do. But can't completely answer that for you right now, mate. But, anyway.
Yeah. Well, this is a big one. This is your chance to maybe not throw down a gauntlet, but who are you most excited to rock up footy game on the weekend? Who are you most excited to match up on this season?
I think it'd be pretty cool to play against Bontempelli or Cripps. There's players that I watch for the last 5 or 6 years really closely and sort of tried to base my game off them. So it'd be pretty special to come up against them. Obviously, they're 2 great players, so I'll do my best against them and see how that goes. But, yeah, especially idolising them my whole life or the last 5 or 6 years, it'd be pretty amazing to come up against them.
Obviously, we've touched on a few things, but one thing that I do want to touch on is what's been sort of the hardest. Obviously, we talked about the media side and all that sort of things, but when it comes to this day and age, social media is a massive factor with sports people and all those sort of things. You've obviously gained a bit of a following on social media and things like that. What's been the biggest adjustment in that side of your life, I guess, with maybe not being able to put as much out there about yourself or, certain things in that regard? Does you feel like you've had to maybe adjust your life in the public eye a little bit?
Yeah. Before you start, I'm just going to take this jumper off for a second.
You're right.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's sweet. Oh, he's doing it off camera. So do all the ladies that stuck around.
I'll just start. I'll just stay like this.
That's all right. Yep.
Yeah, good question. I think I don't really worry about it too much. I think I've never been like that, like pretty laid back sort of person. So I sort of ignore the things that could be said, and yeah, you gain Instagram followers and that sort of thing, but it doesn't really matter, I guess, and we don't really look at it that way. It's just focus on hitting the track during the week 3 or 4 times a week, and just sort of focus on that stuff, which is all important. But I guess, yeah, to be honest, there's not much I've had to adjust with that. And not many negative things have come up as of yet. So it's feeling pretty comfortable.
Yeah, we get to my favourite bit, which is the rapid fire. Going to ask you a few rapid fire questions. Some pretty simple, some pretty maybe harder to answer than others. We'll start with the easiest one, I reckon. Favourite holiday destination, can go anywhere in the world.
Oh well, I want to go to Greece. That's the one place I want to go to.
I heard
Bali
floated in WAFL.
Yeah, look, my favourite place is to go to Bali that I've been to, but that's probably my favourite place I've been to. But if I wanted to go anywhere, it would be Greece, I reckon.
I think that was the saddest part in WAFL history. Obviously, Harvey got drafted. I think it was about a week and a half before schoolies.
Yeah, about a week. Yep.
Yeah, about a week before schoolies, and then all the boys went off to Bali, and obviously Harvey's got to start straight into work, right? You're straight into pre-season, straight into the club. Poor Harvey's had to sit there and watch all the boys time of their life in a villa, and he's back here in middle of November, and working his butt off, and everyone's out enjoying schoolies. They've all just graduated. That might have been the saddest moment in history in WAFL.
Yeah, look, I mean, I knew it was. I didn't know. I knew it was going to happen, I guess. I sort of prepared for the fact that everyone's going to go away to Bali for a week and a half and just do their own thing. But
you're not complaining though. You're straight into an AFL club. There's no complaints.
I'm not complaining. Definitely not. But everyone had a good time, so that's all right. It's over now.
Yeah. Favorite thing to do on an off day?
I go to the beach, I reckon. Just love the beach.
You do love
500 meters road, so
yeah, you do love the beach, mate. Trust me, we've best another good part. I think I've just referenced WAFL about 12 times in this. WAFL's they're gonna be off their heads later when this comes out.
I'm happy, yeah.
Yeah, but the old WAFL NFL game. We had Cooper Kanagara at quarterback. We had Harvey and me on the same team. I reckon you caught the ball every single time. I didn't touch it once. I got ragdolled by Benny Schmidt, and that's about as good as it went.
Yeah, it was quite embarrassing for you, mate. To be honest, I think who was filming on the sideline? Jacob was probably filming. Or who was it?
It was Jacob. Jacob was filming. He didn't want to participate.
He didn't want to participate. It was pretty embarrassing for you, though. To be honest, like I wasn't surprised or anything. And Schmidt completely ragdolled you to the ground, and Cooper he's throwing darts to me, and you're just lost behind me.
Look, in my defence, mate, I'm about 5'10" and about 60 kilos, and you're a solid.
You should be able to run.
You're like a solid 190 something with about 90 kilos behind you. Nobody's getting in your way. I'm pretty sure I watched Heath and Ben both run sideways when you were running between them, but they both ran straight to me and just left you open over the top. So I don't know what's fair in that, but anyway, we won't go there. But yeah, beach, good one for the off day. Love the beach. Sort of. I've asked you a couple now, and now I'm going to go into the more complex ones. You can pick one of 3 things, right? One of 3 things. Okay, so we'll start here. We'll start with you've got your dream house, your dream car, or he's grimaced at the dream car. I don't know what the dream car is now. So you can have your dream house, your dream car, or which doesn't involve any of those things. Dream life, but you can't have your dream house or dream car. So dream life, like friends, family, all going well, but you're basically living in poverty with a shitbox of a car.
Does dream life include what I'm doing now?
Yeah, of course. Well, I'd say this is your dream life.
It is. So I'd say my dream life.
But I want to know. I want to know what the dream car is.
Yeah, well, the dream car. If I had to pick between a dream car and a dream house, it'd be a dream house. Just a nice modern $10 million house on the beach would be pretty beautiful.
Oh yeah, not just a cool 10 mil, yeah.
Yeah, and you're not like I have that anyway. I've never have that. But yeah, dream car, maybe a Lamborghini. I've always wanted a Lamborghini, I think.
Yeah, well, we can all dream, mate. I'd love to not drive a Ford Focus, but it is what it is.
Yeah, you do all right in that, mate. Whip
I do all right in that. I pull up next to the lights, next to you and Heath, and I'm wedged in the middle, and nobody can see me because you both got big cars. So,
mate, the ladies notice you. It's all right.
Oh yeah. Anyway, that's shocking. If you could look back, say 15 years time, and what would you be happy with? Would you be happy with 200 plus games, flag, or just consistency? If you could look back in 10 or 15 years, what would you be content with walking away from AFL?
I think my goal was to retire, knowing that I've done everything I could do. I think whether I play 5 or 6 years or end up playing 10 to 15 or however that may be, I think just knowing that I've done everything I can do, and my body's obviously done, and I've just left everything out there as a person and as a player, for the club that I'm in and the community, fans, which is really important. Sort of that side of the aspect of being an AFL player. I think that's something I've always wanted to sort of bring to a club. So yeah, it's a pretty simple answer, but yeah.
That's good. I mean, simple's always good. I think I've asked myself that question with commentary a few times. If I could look back at the end of it, what would I be happy with? And I'd be don't smile. I'd be happy with if I could call AFL at the top level, or if I could call a Melbourne Cup or something like that. I'd be happy with any of those. It is what it is. They're all interchangeable for me. So D's fans, we've found out a bit about him. Great golfer, loves his beach. I think Froggy was the best one. So if anyone rocks up to you at the footy and goes, Froggy autograph, we know where they've heard that from. And I'm going to ask for the backstory the second this is over, because I'm really curious now. We'll go talk about this in private.
Do you not know?
I don't know. So we'll talk about this in private. But everyone, Harvey Langford, Froggy, he's going to be a fantastic player for the D's, hopefully for a long time. You get used to his face. He'll probably be, kicking a couple of goals and 20-plus disposals on your team. Hopefully not the Tigers. So Anzac Day Eve, you're not allowed to perform well, please. But great to have him on. Good to have his time. And, big shout-out to WAFL as well. They've been given a massive plug in this. And
they have.
They won't ever let me hear the end of this. I'll probably get back for the next 3 weeks about it. But it is all good. Thanks for coming on, Harv.
Thank you, mate. It was good chat to have.
Appreciate it. We'll be back with another guest soon. I got a couple of jockeys lined up, and a very special guest that's in the works. Can't talk about it just yet, but fingers crossed I can get him on, because it would be the greatest pull of my career. No offense, Harvey. Just no offense, but greatest pull of my career. So thank you, everyone. Call the Stalkers out for another week, and we'll see you guys in the next guest. Cheers.
Great. Thank you.